Hello. In this session, you'll learn how our products can help you get central visibility into and better manage your company's sensitive data, wherever it is in your organization, while still ensuring secure collaboration. Before we talk about our solutions, we'll first start by understanding what the data protection market challenges are. Then you'll get an overview of our information protection platform capabilities. One of the key areas that we've really strengthened over the past year is our classification capabilities. Discovering what sensitive data and where it is stored in your digital state is the most important step in the process, as you can't protect or manage data unless it's correctly identified in the first place. You'll hear and see what's new and coming, along with a compelling demo. Then we'll update you on our latest data lifecycle management release updates. As organizations have embraced work from anywhere and hybrid work, using multi-cloud and on-prem apps has resulted in a complex and multi-dimensional attack surface, where identity and multi-factor authentication need to come into play. Our security teams are also seeing increasing data and regulatory requirements. This makes it even more important to make sure there are automated processes in place for data discovery and protection to help organizations be compliant to GDPR, HIPAA, and other industry standards. Other market challenges include the breadth of how many different places within an enterprise where sensitive data can be found, the sheer number and type of documents that are created daily, as well as having to restrict access to external users versus internal employees at a container or site level. What we've learned from talking to customers is that currently CISOs buy between 80 to 100 different security tools and try to stitch them together the best they can. But using security point solutions leaves gaps in coverage, and CISOs still aren't able to answer the basic question, am I secure? We've seen a rapid movement towards technology consolidation and choosing the best of suite solution, as opposed to point solution best of breed. Information protection needs to be accurate, comprehensive, and scaled to enterprise needs without hindering workplace productivity. Now, let's introduce you to our solution. Lori, please take it away.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. The information protection and governance products from Microsoft help safeguard your data wherever it lives. The start of that journey is with Microsoft Purview Information Protection that helps you know your data and protect your data. The Know Your Data experiences enable a deep understanding of your data landscape and helps you identify important data using the classification techniques provided by the platform. Next, we provide capabilities to protect your data. This includes the ability to use sensitivity labels, container labels, and encryption with rights management to cover a range of assets from files and emails to SharePoint repositories that contain content. Once you know and protect your data, the Microsoft Purview Data Loss Prevention uses DLP policies to prevent unauthorized or accidental sharing, transfer, or use of your sensitive data. And lastly, you can leverage Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management to govern your data by automatically retaining, deleting, and storing data and records in a compliant manner. All of these experiences are powered by our intelligent platform and unified management experiences in the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. So, just what is Microsoft Purview Information Protection? Well, let's learn more. Microsoft Purview Information Protection is a platform that covers your entire data estate, and it's centered on 3 key services to help you know and protect your sensitive data. First is a data classification service that helps you discover and classify your sensitive information using world-class classification techniques. Second is our sensitivity label service that allows you to apply labels either manually or automatically. These labels also work on third-party tools that integrate and extend the ecosystem. Finally, our rights management service enables data protection by enforcing encryption and access control on sensitive files and emails. All these services power Office 365 services, and they work across Windows, Mac, and mobile. But it doesn't stop there. The platform extends to cloud applications, your on-premise repositories, and infrastructure clouds. And of course, none of this exists in isolation. Other compliance solutions like e-discovery and insider risks and third-party applications can also be enlightened and empowered by the platform. All right, let's take a deeper look at sensitivity labels. Sensitivity labels are the representation of your organization's information taxonomy, and they help you visually and programmatically identify categories of sensitive information. Every organization should define their taxonomy. Okay, there are two types of labels: content labels and container labels. Content labels are typically applied to data, like files and emails, and they include protections like encryption and visual marking. Container labels are applied to repositories, like SharePoint sites, and they include protections like access control with multi-factor authentication and privacy settings. The platform provides powerful controls around the behavior of these labels, how they are applied and changed, what the defaults are, and who can see the labels. All these controls can be set by the administrator in the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. Now that we have seen the overview, let's dive into the exciting new features of Microsoft Purview Information Protection that are available to you now or are coming soon. Data classification is where it all starts. So we offer best-in-class technologies to help you know your data. First, we have over 200 out-of-the-box sensitive information types for the most common kinds of sensitive data, like credit card numbers or social insurance numbers. You can build your own by cloning and editing these built-in sensitive information types, or you can start from scratch and leverage the power of regular expressions, keywords, and dictionaries to build sensitive information types that meet your needs. All these options are available today. Earlier this year, we released named entities to GA, a highly requested new feature focused on detecting names like people, medical terms, or drug names, for example. It's extremely useful as it addresses the need for accurate detection of regulatory compliance data. Also generally available is exact data match, a technique that searches for specific terms provided by you in the data. How many terms can you upload that will be matched against data? Up to 100 million. And you can combine multiple such terms in our brand new configuration experience to achieve a high level of detection precision. Two highly requested new features in public preview are trainable classifiers and credential-sensitive information types. We invite you to try these out and give us feedback. But combining these sensitive information types to comply with regulations can be hard. That's why we've provided several templates. These are predefined groups of sensitive information types and classifiers that help you meet a specific regulatory requirement. We recommend you get started using these templates and adjust them as needed. Now, PDFs are an important part of your data landscape. So I'm really excited to highlight new features of sensitivity labels to protect PDF files. First up, PDF support in Office. Office will now persist labels exported to PDF file format. That means PDFs will be protected in alignment with the original protection inside the Office document. Do I hear cheering? Next, SharePoint can now correctly render PDFs and protect them, meaning encrypted PDF can be used in just the same way that they are used for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. SharePoint is also planning to support automatic labeling of PDFs later this year. This will extend the ability to scan and apply labels to PDF files at rest, just as we do today for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And lastly, Adobe has developed native capability in Acrobat for users to manually apply sensitivity labels to PDF documents being used and edited inside Acrobat. Yes, I definitely hear cheering. We've been steadily building and releasing features within Office applications that provide the best labeling and protection experience for Office documents. With the 2208 release, we continue to deliver amazing value to the built-in experiences. And why is this important? Well, an integrated user experience for sensitivity labeling is easier for admins to manage and easier for end users to use, and thus magnifies the impact on the rest of the data security ecosystem. Keeping that in mind, we have an impressive lineup of features in the next few months, and the new sensitivity bar in Office is the highlight. It exemplifies the benefits of the built-in labeling because it makes it easier for end users to view and assign labels, thereby making them more successful at protecting sensitive data. As you deploy Office built-in labeling within your organization and get regular updates, it results in better protection in the ecosystem, like encrypted PDFs generated from Office, tying into all that great work around PDFs that I'm so excited about. Now, I can talk about it forever, but instead, let's take a look. Coming up in this demo, you'll see how we bring together the advanced classification technologies with the Office built-in experiences and better support for PDFs as an integrated experience. Enjoy.
Hello. For this demo, I'm going to go over how the built-in labeling experience in Office is superior to the Azure Information Protection add-in. To begin, I'm in the Information Protection tab within the Microsoft Purview Compliance portal, and I'm going to look at the internal label that I have set up. This internal label is meant to prevent data from being shared externally. I'm going to click through the different settings for this label, and I see that the encryption is enabled. Auto-labeling is also turned on, which means that when sensitive information is discovered within a file, it will recommend the label to users. This auto-labeling rule even has advanced classifiers, like the International Classification of Diseases, which is a named entity. These advanced classifiers are only supported by built-in Office labeling and not the AIP add-in. I'm now going to open up two different Word documents. The screen on the left with the black and white has built-in Office labeling, and the screen on the right with the blue and white has the Azure Information Protection add-in. I'm going to paste the same text into both documents. The text contains advanced classifiers, like medical information, that should be triggering the auto-labeling rule. We can see that it triggered only on the left with the Office built-in labeling. The user can then click on Show Sensitive Content to investigate what triggered the auto-labeling rule. And once confirming that this information looks correct, apply the recommended label. When saving the document, the user can see that the correct label has been applied and can even see the entire label hierarchy. However, with the AIP add-in, the user can also see the entire label hierarchy and that the internal label exists, but the auto-label rule did not trigger because the AIP add-in does not support advanced classifiers, so the user will just leave the label as general when saving. Going back to the document with built-in labeling, the louder label is displayed within the sensitivity bar, and it's easy for the user to recognize and edit if needed. The user is going to go in and save the file as a PDF document. When saving a file through built-in labeling, the label will be transferred over to the PDF document. The user for the AAP add-in document is also going to save the document as a PDF file. However, with the AAP add-in, the label will not get transferred over to the PDF document. In summary, the built-in labeling experience in Office is superior to the Azure Information Protection add-in for 3 key reasons. Built-in labeling can support advanced classifiers, the labels are louder, and there's a smooth experience when transferring a document to PDF. Thank you for watching this demo.
And that's a recap of the exciting information protection announcements. Let's welcome Erica to talk about what's new for governing your data with Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management.
Thank you. To complement all the exciting information protection announcements, let's talk about what's new for governing your data with Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management. My name is Erica Telly, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager on the Microsoft Purview team. First, let's look at how data lifecycle management fits into the big picture. As we mentioned earlier, information protection and governance helps you to protect and govern data wherever it lives. Data lifecycle management delivers the Govern Your Data promise. Specifically, we help you to manage the lifecycle of your data. We automatically retain, delete, and store data and records in a compliant manner. Now let's jump into our Ignite announcements. We have 3 exciting releases to tell you about. First, Power Automate integration helps you to customize lifecycle management workflows to meet your organization's requirements. Second, the ability to apply retention labels in Microsoft Teams enables end users to do their work in the Files tab in a Microsoft Teams channel. Third, our new feature to refine and retain cloud attachments helps admins with investigations or to meet financial services regulations. This feature keeps a version of the file shared in a Teams message or email. Let's learn more about each of these announcements. Our new Power Automate integration with retention labels helps you extend Microsoft Purview to meet your business requirements. The possibilities for extensibility are endless, but here are a few examples of how customers leveraged the integration during our private preview program. First, some customers want to customize their disposition review processes. For example, they may want the file or site owner to review the content or to show specific file metadata to the reviewer. Next, other customers want to simply notify the document owner that their content is up for deletion and ask them to extend the deletion date if they still need the file. Another use case is to move files from a collaboration site to a centralized archive site. This example is especially useful for files with long retention periods. Lastly, different regulations require different metadata and information in the Proof of Destruction certificate. With Power Automate, you can generate a PDF document that meets your specific requirements. Power Automate integration with retention labels is now available in public preview today. Next, let's look at Microsoft Teams. We want it to be easy for end users to apply retention labels right where they do their work. Today, we are announcing the ability to apply a retention label to a file directly from the Files tab in a Microsoft Teams channel. This feature is generally available today and ready for you to use. Our last data lifecycle management announcement helps to provide point-in-time context for internal investigations and compliance with financial regulations. A cloud attachment occurs when an end user stores a file in OneDrive or SharePoint. The user then shares a link to that file in a Microsoft Teams message or email. Previously, we could only retrieve the latest version of a file shared in one of these messages. This didn't provide the context of what the file contained when it was shared. Today, we are announcing the ability to find and retain cloud attachments, now available in public preview. When you enable this feature, the version of the file shared as a cloud attachment in a message will be retained. This retention allows a compliance admin to later retrieve the exact version of the file shared in a message. We look forward to hearing your feedback on Power Automate integration, Microsoft Teams native retention labels, and retention for cloud attachments. Now over to you, Anna.
Thanks for that great update on the latest DLM features. So we've talked about how to discover and protect your data using our information protection solution and how to govern your data with our data lifecycle management solution. What we haven't done yet is gone deeper into our data loss prevention solution. So what can you do next? Watch our Microsoft Purview session on data loss prevention to get additional details on how to prevent accidental oversharing as well as data exfiltration. There's also a great session on insider risk management as well as a data protection breakout session. We also have an information protection customer roundtable as well as compliance solutions expert meetup where you can see in-person demos and have subject matter experts answer any questions that you may have. Here are some additional resources, links to blogs, web pages, and interactive guides, and demos for each of the compliance products that are highlighted at Ignite. Thank you for attending this session. We hope you've learned how you can get started on your information protection journey to protect your most sensitive data quickly, accurately, and at enterprise scale.